You've been eating all the right things, you've been exercising, and yet you're still not seeing the changes that you want to see, whether that's on the scale or in the way that your clothes fit. And it feels like there's a missing piece. Well, the missing piece is probably sleep. I imagine that's probably not what you're expecting, but if you've fallen onto my channel, well, that's what we talk about here, is we talk about sleep and how it touches everything. Sleep definitely has the ability to impact weight management. A lot of people don't realize this, but sleep and weight management are very closely tied. They go hand in hand, and sleep helps regulate hunger. It regulates hormones that are very closely tied to regulating hunger. It helps with regulation of metabolism and also energy levels. So there's a lot of things that go hand in hand with sleep that a lot of people just don't simply realize. And the effects of sleep on weight management can happen after just one night of poor sleep. And that sounds pretty incredible, but listen up. We have two main hormones that we're going to talk about here today, just to make it very simple when it comes to weight management. We've got ghrelin and we've got leptin. When it comes to ghrelin, ghrelin is the hormone that is hungry, it wants us to feed it, and that's what it does. That is ghrelin. Whenever it comes to leptin, leptin is satisfied, no thank you, I don't want any more, I'm full, and that hopefully, normally, they are in balance. Now, after we're having a poor night's rest, these hormones start to get out of balance. Hunger hormone, ghrelin, increases, and it tells us that we're hungry even more and to feed me. Leptin decreases, and this one is the one that tells us that we're satisfied, no thank you, I've had enough. So when these get out of balance, you can imagine that we're getting hungrier and it's much harder to satisfy us. So this is a problem whenever it comes to weight management. Also, the following day after we've had a poor night's rest, our body is wanting things and it's craving, and what it's craving is often things that are high in sugar, high in fat, very starchy, things that are going to be really calorie dense. I imagine that you can probably relate to this after having a poor night's sleep, of often reaching for those things that maybe you know aren't very healthy, but maybe feel like a more comfort food option. And the reason why the body does this is because it is looking for kind of a quick hit of energy, if you will. And if we start to have poor sleep night after night after night, and we're continuing to make poor choices every single day, day after day after day, then you can imagine that this really starts to build up. This can build up in a lot of different ways. It can look like an increase in weight. It can look like an increase in body fat. It may look like having a harder time making healthy choices. And it's not because of you, it's because of your hormones. There are other things to take into consideration. So there's research out there to show that people who get less than 6 hours of sleep per night are more likely to eat between 200 and 500 calories more compared to someone who slept between 7 and 9 hours per night, showing that just a small night after night of poor sleep can really add up. Something else that's very important for us to know is Johns Hopkins Medical School came out with a study that showed that folks who sleep less than 5 hours per night are at an increased risk of developing obesity by 50%. And this is something to take into consideration based on all the other lifestyle factors that you've got going on as well, in addition to genetics. This is one of the many pieces that may be coming into play. Whenever it comes to weight management, it is certainly very dynamic, but I want you to have all the information that you need. Also, whenever it comes to decision making and impulse control, we're just maybe not at our best after having a poor night's rest. So it can be really difficult to say no to unhealthy foods, even though we know that this is not in alignment with our goals or with our diet and exercise plan. Also, whenever we're short on sleep, it makes our body a lot less efficient at processing glucose. And again, after time, things like that can lead to an increase in blood sugar, an increase in fat storage, and potentially the increase in type 2 diabetes. Also, think about it. If you've had a poor night's rest and you know that you need to go to the gym or you need to go out on a walk, or things that maybe are on a regular day a little bit tough to get the motivation to do, how motivated are you going to be if you're already feeling very tired and sluggish and fatigued? Probably not so much. So it's a big combination of factors that come together to have sleep and weight management to be very closely tied together. So let's review what we talked about here today. So sleep and weight management are very, very closely tied together, even though a lot of folks don't realize it. And that's because after just one night of poor sleep, our hormones like ghrelin and leptin get very out of whack, making us hungrier than usual and less satisfied than usual. Our body is more likely to crave things that are sugary, starchy, calorie dense, fatty, because it wants that quick hit of energy. We talked about several different ways in which we're more likely to eat more calories the following day, and also increasing our risk for obesity, for type 2 diabetes, for increased blood sugar, for being poorly efficient at processing glucose, at fat storage. Lots of different things are adding up whenever we're having this poor sleep night after night after night, and we're having a hard time saying no to those unhealthy choices, and we're having a hard time getting the motivation to get up, go to the gym, and to work out. So this is maybe the key hidden piece that you have been searching for whenever it comes to getting a better handle on your weight management. So consider that, and I hope that you will improve your sleep strategies and join me on my channel next time for another sleep video. Thanks for watching. If tonight's sleep is a little bit better than last night's, we're doing something right. Come back next time for more tools, strategies, and science you can trust.